Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis. I do not know why my Wi-Fi is acting a little bit slow. Piece of what did I do? Okay, welcome back, YouTube. I don't know. I clicked something. Anyways, I hope you're having an amazing day. It is sunny and beautiful here, but it is windy, so a little bit chillier. But a really good morning to go to the coffee shop, go shopping with my daughter who's in town for spring break. Her last spring break of college, her last spring break of life, right? I mean, after college, there is no real spring break, right? Until you have kids. And then, it's either expensive or you're yelling at your kids and they're yelling at you because they're so bored, right? Oh my gosh. Get comfortable in comments. We have a lot to chat about. I definitely want to hear your opinions on all of this. We are going to chat Jax Taylor, his announcement today. We're going to chat the latest episode of 90 Day Fiance. And of course, today's Jeff Lewis Live. Lots to discuss there. How are you? How are you? Okay. Okay, I gotta quit hitting buttons because seriously. Blowing pots off my Michael Riley. Very windy here in Orlando. It's blowing pots off my bar. Not happy. Like cooking pans? You have cooking pans outside for maybe your outdoor kitchen? I don't know. Thank you, Cecily. She's number 15. Please make sure to tap the screen. I'd really appreciate it. Okay. So much to chat about. Jax Taylor didn't announce it. Does Jax Taylor still have a podcast with his wife? Not, whatever, estranged wife. I was like, what is it called when you're getting a divorce? With your estranged wife, Brittany Cartwright from Vanderpump Rules. He just did a podcast with Alex Baskin, who is one of the big producers on all the Bravo stuff. And he admitted that he's had a cocaine and alcohol addiction for the past 20 years, but he has been sober for 83 days. So what is 83? Why is that sounding? No, that would be before the holidays. Okay, so that's really good. What is 83 days? This is maybe early November-ish? Maybe early November-ish? But of course, somebody just sent me in my DM. Thank you to the Chumpettes that keep me up to date on everything. Y'all really are the best with sending me everything. Oh, pots like planters. Oh, yeah, that would piss me off too. We have to have that too because we get a lot of wind in our backyard and in South Texas. So I don't want planters that are going to topple over and crack. So anyways, so I get it now. But Brittany had some things to say on that and basically saying, implying that she's happy that he's finally being honest about the real issue is with his coke and alcohol addiction, but she doesn't feel like the treatment that he's doing, I think she said is the bare minimum that he's doing. So that does not sound good. Wait, what? Tracy says, I just read that your airport is closed for dust storms. We have dust storms in Houston. I had no idea. Is it Hobby Airport or International? IAH is the one that's further from me. Hobby is about 20 minutes from me, 25 minutes. So I don't know. Clearly, y'all know I don't watch the news. Anyways. Okay, so we've long known that Jax Taylor had an issue or assumed that he had an issue. But somebody brought up the fact and reminded me that he gets to take Cruz, who's 3-ish years old, maybe 4, by himself. So I don't know how deep in the throes of a cocaine and alcohol addiction that he has. I don't know if he's required to have somebody with him, but I do know he posts a lot of him and Cruz in the swimming pool together. So that obviously makes everyone nervous with a little kid. And a dad that's now admitting for 20 years he's had a cocaine and alcohol addiction. You know what I mean? So yes, the nose jobs. Yeah. Yeah, the nose jobs. Yeah, because it wasn't, by the way, how crappy is it for a doctor to do a nose job on somebody? I mean, I don't know if you have to get blood work and show that you're not doing drugs. I don't know how all that works. I do know that I learned from Angela Deem on 90 Day Fiancé when she was trying to get all of her medical procedures done. She had to stop smoking and she had to prove to her doctor they were doing blood work to see if she was quitting smoking. Well, of course she didn't. She kept lying about it. But smoking apparently delays or prevents you from healing the way you're supposed to heal, like your blood vessels, the oxygen, all that kind of scientific stuff. So I'm wondering, of course, she cheated and she was smoking. She's still smoking to this day, but she did get the medical procedures done. I say medical procedures. It was all, whatever, nose jobs, the tummy tuck, all that kind of crap, her teeth done, what have you. But Jax's doctor, I think the same doctor did all these procedures. So if he knew that he was an active addict and wasn't going to recover anyways, and maybe going to keep having these, like, why would he do these? You know what I mean? I don't even understand. The way I see it says it's real easy to criticize him and not take responsibility for marrying him and having a child with him, knowing he had this kind of problem. Okay, you must have been in my DMs because I just responded back to somebody, hey, he's had this issue for 20 years. She married him. So she knew about this issue and still married him and brought a child into it. So for her to be saying like, oh, I'm protecting Cruz and doing all this stuff. Well, you brought a child into a relationship with an active drug addict. So drug and alcoholic. So anyways, she needs to take a little bit of responsibility in all of that too, for sure. I've been wondering about that too. Southern Belle says, does anyone know if the South Carolina fires are gone? I just saw that on the news last night and this morning for sure. Lisa, have you gone to Matt Matthews yet? I'm like, I know you would have messaged me if you've gone to Matt Matthews. So Matt Matthews is a comedian, huge comedian, that Lisa taught me about. And now my husband and friends and I are going to see him in April when he comes to Houston. But she is going and she has meet and greet tickets for him because she adores him so much. She says he's exclusive is on YouTube channel tonight at 7:45. His last tour, when that thing gets to the thing, and I don't know. Is that the name of his tour? I thought it was called like something else. Anyways, Cecily says I cannot watch Angela Deem. I think she's done so on 90 Day Fiancé right now that her and Michael are done. She's probably like trying to find a man. I think she's posted on TikTok Live that she has a man, but she's got to find a man that's willing to look a fool with her on, reality TV for the small paychecks that TMZ, that TLC pays, right? Mariah Joy said he is a 45-year-old man who's extremely juvenile. Good for him for admitting his addiction, but that doesn't just dissolve all your past actions and behaviors. No, it does not excuse all your past actions and behaviors, but maybe it does give us a reason for them. So clearly, I hope that he gets his, addictions under control for sure. I don't know if that means he's clean from cocaine and alcohol. I'm assuming that's what he means when he says 83 days sober. So I hope he does stay clean for himself, for his child, for any future relationships, for his, career, everything. You know what I mean? I can't even imagine how he was trying to function. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Lisa says Matt Matthews had to cancel the last weekend, but he had the flu. Did he have to cancel when he was coming to you? How did you not message me and tell me that? Oh my gosh. Okay, Raquel's talking about the Baldwins. A lot of y'all were DMing me saying I've got to check out the Baldwins, that actually you ended up liking Alec Baldwin after this. Watch the Baldwins and it's okay, Raquel says. The way I see it says, I'm not in your DMs, but it just makes you wonder how much she knew and when she knew. because some women like it just as much as the guy until they mature after having a child and the guy is still immature. There's no way in hell she didn't know about this. She was a fan of Vanderpump Rules before she met with him, before she moved from Kentucky to LA and then married him and then stayed. I mean, she definitely knew of this. Now she's got a business, the business with them and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Anyways, let me know in comments. Even if you're watching as a replay, I want to know what you think about Jax Taylor and this admission. And also, does anyone know, does he still have the podcast with Brittany? Does Brittany still have a podcast? If not, like, how are they making money? I mean, at one point she admitted that her rental house was $15,000 a month when he was staying in the house. Now he has an apartment, which God, I hope isn't $15,000 a month. But how do they even afford that? Like, are they in debt? Do they have money in the bank? Are they taken care of? I don't know. They are on the Valley, but the Valley has not been on in a while. I mean, that check can't be, sustaining a cocaine habit. You know what I mean? Because he didn't act like it was like just a casual thing. 20 years of cocaine, that's some money up the nose, I guess, really. Yes. Oh, this reminds me of an Oprah show. They always said on Oprah that if whoever was complaining about you going out and you dressing sexy and you whatever, you were cheating, it was usually that person that was actually cheating. So I learned that on Oprah Winfrey show a long time ago. Lisa Lewis says, Jax complained about Brittany's drinking. Really? What do you call that? Putting your stuff on somebody else. Whatever that's called. I can't even think. Yes, definitely. I know. Deborah says Jax doesn't need to be left alone with Cruz. I know. And I mean, you'd think she'd be able to say that, and that would be in court documents. You know what I mean? Definitely a serial cheater. You know what I mean? I think so too. Southern Bell Cell says young folks, especially women, think a man will change when marrying and or having a baby. Just FYI. Well, and Jax Taylor is the proof of somebody, I'll never cheat again. I'll never whatever. I'll be better. I don't think he was ever better. Yes, where are my keys? Deflection, projection, and lying. Exactly. Oh, Michael Riley says they're both enablers. I don't even know that he's an enabler. I don't think Jax Taylor gives a crap about anyone in his life except himself. You know what I mean? Which is gross. Like, feel bad that she married him for that reason alone. Yeah, all the other reasons. Anyways, okay, we are going to get into 90 Day Fiance. I've got some strong opinions about that, but I definitely want to hear your thoughts on today's Jeff Lewis Live. Mostly the second hour. The first hour was kind of, Dubai people that I have no idea why they were even on. They didn't explain. Is the show on pause? Is Real Housewives of Dubai canceled? Why are you in town for a week? Why are you meeting with the Bravo producers? Like, none of that was asked. I'm like, all I heard was them like talking over each other and like trying to one up each other and put each other down. And then they settled down a little bit, but mostly want to talk about the second hour where Jeff drops this bombshell about Monroe and how it's going to piss off Gage. And then, of course, what MJ sort of brought up and then changed the subject about Reza. So I definitely have my thoughts on that. Cecily says, was there a new 90 Day Fiance last night? I don't know when they come on. I just record it and watch it when I can. I do believe the 90 Day Fiance season 11 that I'm watching is from Sunday night. I think there's still 90 Day Fiance, the what do they call it when they go and they hang out, like they're trying to get back together, but they're trying not to. I think I'm deleting that one. I don't think I'm ever going to make time to watch it. You know what I mean? Chanel Ian is very much like her cousin, Uba from Real Housewives of New York. Very confident. My shit doesn't stink. Look at me. I'm the bomb.com. I mean, yeah, last resort. I think I'm going to delete that one. I just don't think I'm going to make time to watch that one. Oh my gosh. Oh, I did hear that was a really sweet show. I didn't know it was season 3 already. Krista says, Love on the Spectrum season 3 was just announced the cast. So very cute. Yeah, I watched The Last Resort, the first season, and I just can't with those people. They're so fucking thirsty. I just can't. Okay. My thoughts. 90 Day Fiance. Mina and Greg? No, not Greg. What is Mina's husband? not David, whatever, Mina, the girl that's coming from Paris, France to live in New Hampshire with her, pilot husband. I don't understand if she's so upset about leaving, which I understand as a mom, obviously, if she's so upset about leaving her 9-year-old son, Clayton, back in Paris with a friend or a sister, like the story keeps going back and forth on that. Is it your sister or is it a friend? Because very different to me, especially if your sister is close to you and if that friend is not that close. Like, how much does this 9-year-old son know this friend that is now staying with him, or he's staying with her, while his mom and baby sister, toddler sister, are in a whole other country? Like, she's all upset about that, which is understandable, but she left the country. So her husband explains, when we filled out the K-1 visa information, we put him on there as a minor. He is her child. So I don't understand why he didn't get a passport. Why couldn't I don't know, why couldn't 90 Day Fiancé, the producers, do something to get this done? You know what I mean? Oh, that was announced yesterday, Christina, Dolly's husband. Her husband passed away yesterday. 82 years old or something. Anyways, but yeah, I don't understand it. I understand why she's upset now, but why did you put your daughter and yourself on a flight from France to America, knowing that you didn't have your 9-year-old son with you? And now you get to America and you take a look at the dilapidated house that needs to be updated, that's got pictures of his ex-wife everywhere. And you're like, oh, maybe America is not for me. Like, we've always lived in big cities. I've never lived in a small town like this before. Like, this may not be for me. And I might be going back because of my son, which just seems to be a decision that should have been done before that. You know what I mean? Andy Cohen's leaving Bravo. Wait, what? No, absolutely not. The pilot guy died? Wait, what? Y'all are all over the place. What are y'all talking about? Who's Danielle's husband? I hope Danielle's husband is deported. Which one is Danielle? Are y'all talking 90 Day Fiancé? Y'all are so confusing me in the comments. There's no way Andy Cohen's leaving Bravo. He would have announced it on Andy Cohen Live today for sure. Yeah. Okay, I'm not even giving that any credit because I know that's false. Okay. Anyway, so I want to hear your thoughts on that. If you think, now I'm super impressed that this dude, like, I've never heard of people living on a golf course. I've never heard of anyone living on a landing strip. So the dude has his own plane and like flies, lands, and then like drives up to his house. So I do think that's pretty cool, but I don't think it's going to be cool whenever he has to go away to work. And, she's going to be home alone with this toddler who doesn't know anyone or anything. You know what I mean? Yes, we're talking 90 Day Fiancé. Oh, I thought you were, okay, Deborah. Wait. Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay. Joan and Greg finally meet at the airport. This is the guy who's like mid-30s maybe, lives home with mama on Long Island, New York. He doesn't exactly have a career. He doesn't have one career. He kind of is like a handyman. He's kind of like a baker. I'm not exactly sure, but he definitely cannot afford his own apartment. His fiance, Joan, comes over having like her college degree. Like, she's a director at a nonprofit facility in Uganda. I mean, like, she's got her crap together. But don't forget, when they come over here, until they get their green card, they can't even work at all. She is 100% reliant on Greg for financial. Like, he literally has to pay for everything and had to prove that he could pay for that to get the visa. So it's crazy. Yes, Tracy says, once you get the visa issued, you only have a certain amount of time to come to the USA. But I don't understand why his passport wasn't, like, I don't know. It's so, I don't understand. I don't understand how that ball got dropped. And if she knew if that was important to not be away from her 9-year-old son, there's no mention of his father. I have no idea if he's is his life. I have no idea. They do call her fiance dad though. So Clayton definitely, she called, her fiance dad to him. So she didn't talk about someone else. Anyways, so they get together, but his mom, oh, bless her mom. The mom's like, well, I don't want to hear any, noises. I don't want to know that y'all are having sex upstairs. I'm like, agreement. The dude is in his mid-30s. You live in what seems to look like a pretty large house. If the walls are thin, as y'all are saying, then say, look, mom, why don't you and dad, or you and a friend, who they don't mention a dad, so I don't know if the dad's in the picture or not. They definitely show the mom, go out to dinner. Why don't you go take a walk? I mean, they only need 3 to 5 minutes. It's not like they need, an hour. And then just not make it weird. And then they can shower and come down and hang out and whatever. Now, is it weird to know she's leaving while they go upstairs and, bang it out? Yeah, but they're going to do that anyway. So the fact that the mom is asking them to live in separate bedrooms is kind of ridiculous because, they are going to be married very soon and they're going to be living there very soon. So it's somewhat a matter of her wanting them to be married. But the point is, she doesn't want to hear anything, which is absolutely understandable. But that's why they got to talk about some specifics. Like, what are we going to do? Like maybe every Tuesday and Friday, you go out to dinner for a little while, or you go take a walk. I mean, and or go run errands, and that is their quality time. You know what I mean? I pushed a button again. No, I didn't. It's not muted. Anyways, yes, Cecily, is he a mama's boy, or is he just reliant on her financially? And she is a mom that is way too into her son. You know what I mean? They don't talk about any other kids. They don't talk about the husband. I don't know if the husband's there. At one point they said parents, but I don't know if that means the dad lives in the house and just doesn't want to be on the TV. Like, these are things I wish they would explain to us. You know what I mean? He ain't got no money. He's broke as a joke. I mean, Where Are My Keys says, why doesn't he get his own place? He's a 30-year-old, for crying out loud. And I don't know if she came over with any savings. Sometimes they'll talk about the people coming over with savings. I don't know if she came over with any savings. You know what I mean? Sherry, can you imagine her laying in bed with earphones on? Sherry said, has the mom ever heard of noise canceling headphones? I would just rather not be there. I can understand this in a way. Like, as my children get older and, have boyfriends or get married, I can understand not wanting to hear any of that. But also, this is where I think they need even a little, even a nonverbal something or other, like a little, like a doctor's office, there's a little clip outside the door, just says, if it's rocking, don't come a knocking. Like, give the mom a heads up. Hey, give us some privacy. Like, give us some privacy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to hear my adult son banging it out either, because it sounds like he's never had a girlfriend or never brought any over, and she's never heard anything. She's never thought that he was doing anything. You know what I mean? Debbie Kate says it is possible to have quality time. Yeah, but the mom sounds like she's up their ass all the time. And it sounds like it's not only that. She said something at one point of like, well, I just want to make sure they don't forget about me. In other words, that she is still a big part of her son's life. So, if he's never moved out, which I don't know that they ever said if he's ever moved out, maybe just had to move home. They haven't really said, you know what I mean? So I don't really know. Where Are My Keys says, if my grown child tried to ship a woman up from another country on my dime, oh, heck no. Oh, I wonder if she's financing this, because it's very expensive to do the K-1 visa. I've heard in the $6,000 range, but also, it won't cost more for her to live there necessarily. Electricity isn't going to go up. The house note doesn't go up because one person is living there, but, food might go up a little bit, or, beauty products, things like that. I mean, a little bit of money will go into it. You know what I mean? I understand. Jet says 90 Day Fiancé is hard to watch because it's not aspirational at all. It feels like losers buying losers and nobody is happy. Well, and it's starting to feel like for me that not the aspirational part, but that it's not even real love, that these people are realizing, oh, I can go get a guy on an app and we can fake whatever, get married and then be famous from 90 Day Fiancé. Like people don't even care anymore. They are so willing to sell themselves out for this fame because the money is not amazing. The money from TLC I've heard is not amazing. Debbie says it is possible to leave your room at night and have sexy time with your fiance without the control freak mother knowing. She needs to go to sleep. It doesn't need to be discussed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she was even up till, 10 o'clock waiting on them to come home from the airport. So, which I get. She probably wanted to meet, Joan. Although Joan doesn't seem super excited, to live with them. You know what I mean? Southern Belle says, I'm doing nothing except getting ready for continued education classes. Thanks for asking. Oh, okay. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. That was y'all's own conversation. Okay. Yeah. Fake, staged, totally scripted. Kind of starting to agree. Okay. One couple that I am pulling for is Maddie and Stevie. He is so in awe of the freedoms that he instantly has when he got to America. So he just came over from Iran. He and Stevie are staying in New Orleans, which he's seeing everything. He's seeing, naked bodies, boobies, he's probably smelling the marijuana trucks like I smelled when I was there with my kids a few years ago. He's tasting the beignets, which are delicious. But more than that, he's like, I can't believe people are allowed to sing and dance on the streets. He's like, in my country, we would be arrested for that. Like, we could not do that. And then he goes to say something. I forget what he went to say. Does anyone remember? He went to say something about being Muslim, and he didn't want to say it because out of respect for his parents. So even though he's in America now, he can't necessarily get in trouble, I don't think, with the Iranian government. He didn't want to say that out of respect for his parents. I don't remember what that was, though. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. I think even Colt's mom she's gross too. Colt's mom. Ugh, Colty. Oh, gosh. Tracy said she's like Colt's mom. Yeah, but Colt's mom at least, she did give them some freedom, I feel like. I don't feel like it was super gross. And I do feel like at least he had a job. I don't know. What's Colty up to nowadays? You know what I mean? Colty! But I am pulling for Maddie and Stevie. She is not showing her kids. I don't know if that's probably because of her ex-husband or if she will once he gets here. But Maddie has never been over to the US. So, and she's never brought her kids, as far as they've said, over to Iran. So I'm assuming this is going to be all new. And I think he's like 10 years younger than her. So that's going to be a little bit too. Debbie got her own show. Wait, on TLC or where? Christina says Debbie got her own show. Is this about her living in Canada with the dude? Is she still with that guy that she met? That was interesting too, because she practically moved to Canada because her friend kicked her out and she had nowhere to live, which is very sad. I mean, she's got to be like in her early 70s, right? Anyways, okay, Sarper and Shekinah are still on this show because they're going to milk 90 Day Fiancé still forever. They do, a very emotional goodbye to his parents and his cousin. He's an only child. He will definitely have the opportunity to come back and forth from Turkey to the USA, and maybe his parents will be able to come there. But, their concern is that they've had fights, there. They've had fights in the USA. And basically, like, what are they going to do when they have a fight? And Shekinah's like, get out of my house. Like, where's he going to go? And she says, oh, I'm going to introduce him to my friends. They would take him in. And his cousin's like, do you even know him? Like, Sarper would never do that. He would never go to your friend's house and stay in their place. I'm assuming if she lets him, because remember, they are both super jealous of each other. I don't know where. I think she's an influencer, but he doesn't let her go out and get paid to go to these parties like she was because he's super jealous of her. Well, he is a fitness trainer, so she doesn't want him to have female clients, which is probably 94% of his clientele. So that's going to eat up, any money that he was making. You know what I mean? Who knows? They haven't showed that part yet. It's 2 hours. It's a lot. It's a lot to watch 90 Day Fiancé. It's a freaking full-time job. Oh my gosh. Okay, don't forget, if anybody wants to come on towards the end and ask a question or a comment, you can. The thing is down right there, the streamyard.com. Just copy and paste that into a browser and it should bring you up for sure. I don't watch White Lotus. I don't even know what it's about. I don't even have a clue. You know what I mean? I do know it just started again, but I haven't watched it. True. Tracy says, I think he's scared for his parents in Iran, that the government might come after them. Yeah. And that's something, I wonder in situations like that, I wonder if he gives his legal name, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if he changes his name. Yes, they know who he looks like, but at least they can't look him up. And well, I guess with technology nowadays, you can do the face and figure out who you are. You know what I mean? Oh, somebody says, I would love White Lotus. And Krista says, don't waste your time on White Lotus. Well, which is it, Linda? Would I love it? I don't know. I don't tend to like all those. I don't know. I don't think I will. Lisa watches all of it. I mean, Married at First Sight, Deal or No Deal Island, Housewives of Beverly Hills, Denise Richards Show, and of course, Matt Matthews. Oh, is it Beverly Hills on tonight? Yes, it is Tuesday, right? It was sad for Maddie. Especially in the, first few hours of him getting to New Orleans, and he's already talking about wanting to go back to Iran. You know what I mean? Oh, Justin Martindale suggested it and I'm hooked. Okay, y'all are telling me to watch White Lotus. What channel is it even on? I don't even know. And what season it is on? I think I'm too far past it to watch White Lotus. Anyways, okay, I'll ask my husband if I would like it. He hears about all the TV shows at work. Okay, let's chat today's Jeff Lewis Live. Talene Marie and Chanel Ayan from Real Housewives of Dubai. Are they Real Housewives of Dubai? Is that show canceled? Is it on pause? Like, we don't even know. Why were they on Jeff Lewis? Like, it was so weird. First of all, did you go to the coffee picture and look on JL Jeff Lewis? They put up a picture. Patrick was already like commenting, like, oh my gosh, you ladies brought it. We're going to talk about this. They're probably going to give the award for winning. If the way they talked about it, especially Talene talking about her suitcase that was lost for a little bit, had like $35,000 worth of clothes in it, why she couldn't go to the CVS that she loves so much and buy some underwear instead of turning them inside out, I do not know. Wait, is former Chump Con real? I saw a page. Definitely not real, unless Jeff just chose not to talk about that today. Anyways, y'all got lots of rumors going on today. I don't think so. Y'all mean like Chump Con is canceled? No. Allison thought they were great. Okay, so if you thought they were great, convince me. Tell me why. Because I thought it just sounded like they were talking over each other. They were trying to get Jeff Lewis's attention. They were kind of putting each other down a little bit. And then they were like talking about how they're best friends. And I'm like, are you though? You know what I mean? Like, are you though? They definitely talked a lot for sure. Oh, Cecily, I hope you let me know how it is. By the way, Cecily says, I'm halfway through Susan Powter's book, which is only 172 pages. It's a very quick, easy read. It really is. I haven't heard from her PR person, though. Remember how she said she would do my podcast? She called last Thursday morning or early afternoon, and today is Tuesday. Now, she didn't say when the PR guy would call or email me. I don't know. But she also said, send me your Instagram so I can follow you. Well, she didn't say Instagram. She said, send me your stuff so I can follow you. So maybe she started following me on somewhere that I don't get a notification. Because like YouTube, you don't get notified whenever they subscribe to you. You know what I mean? Wait, what? You need to see Julie's post of former Chump Con the same weekend as Chump Con. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you mean I did see a picture that somebody sent me that Julie posted with petty ass bitch music in the background of who was it? Heather McDonald at a dinner with Julie and Brandy and Chef Stu, and then Megan, and then two women I didn't realize who they were. And it said that Heather McDonald had just done a big show. I don't know. Are they doing an event in Las Vegas that weekend? That's interesting. But look, there's a lot of fans that are still Jeff Lewis Live fans and Heather McDonald fans, or Brandy and Julie fans. So they might be there for Chump Con and they might go to those shows. So I don't know. So are they going to have their own event? Is that what Julie is saying? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Jet said, I don't know. I don't watch Kelly Dodd and Rick Leventhal. We'll chat about that in a little bit, what Jeff said about her today. But a couple of y'all did DM me and say, I've got to watch today. Kelly was super drunk. And I'm like, I don't know. Y'all tell me that every day. And I don't watch it, but I'm like, I feel like she knows people talk about her when she's allegedly drunk, and maybe she's just acting the part to get the ratings or get her name in people's mouth. I don't know. Jet says, did you all see Kelly said today that they're suing the lady who doxed them for damages due to emotional stress because she needs therapy now? Seriously, she needs therapy after the things she said about people, and she needs therapy. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. There's a former, I'm sure that's fake, Krista. Yeah, I'm sure it's fake. One was Heather's sister. Oh, okay. Well, then I've met her at BravoCon. She came up to me and pulled, rightfully so, pulled her sister away because her sister was making a fool of herself with me. She sure was. Okay, really? Krista says, yes, Julie and Brandy are posting that there is a former Chump Con event with the same dates at Chump Con. It could be a ruse, but it looked real. Wow. Like, talk about hanging on by a thread just seriously, like, so many thoughts on that. Like, just let it go. Let it go for sure. Okay. Talene starts off. First of all, go look at their outfits, because Talene is wearing a very small denim dress with like a denim jacket over. She's definitely kept all the weight off that she lost after her glow up of season 1. Chanel Ian is wearing what looks to be a see-through-ish, like, one-piece outfit and then a fur thing over it. Like, I couldn't figure out what the hell she was wearing. It's not my thing at all. But, not my thing at all. But, they're going to bring it for sure. Okay. Talene was supposed to have dinner with Jeff Lewis last night. She's saying that she was, tired and she didn't understand the text. But if Talene and Chanel are going on the Jeff Lewis Live show together, I'm assuming, because they never said why. They never explained why they're in LA for a week, having meetings with a producer, going out to dinner with Housewives, things like that. But if they're doing promo to, stuff together, you would assume that when Shane messaged her, but also why wouldn't Shane have messaged Talene and Chanel together saying, hey, what time are y'all at your hotel? Dinner is at whatever time it is. Like, I do feel like he should have messaged Chanel also, because then the story is that Talene was kind of not saying, oh, I'm going down for this dinner. Oh, but also I have a dinner with Jeff Lewis, and no, he wants me on by himself. Well, then Chanel is like, is he mad at me? Do we have beef? She's like texting, what's her face, saying, is he mad at me? And she's like, no, I don't think, Crystal Minkoff going, is he mad at me? She's like, no, but if I were going on this big promo tour for whatever reason, since your show is canceled, why would she not assume Chanel was invited? Like, I think they both just wanted lots of attention from Jeff Lewis, and to become the favorite or not have the time divided by him. It was very interesting. But it was also interesting that, she just let Chanel believe that she wasn't invited. She could have said with Shane, "Oh, Chanel would like to come too. Can she come too?" And he would have been like, "Yeah, y'all are both invited. Like that was meant for both of us." I don't know. I think so too. It felt very awkward in the beginning, and yet they claim to be best friends. And I'm like, but are you though? Like, I don't really know. Debbie says, I think Talene purposely didn't tell her Chanel talks too much. Oh, good Lord. She is just like Uba, just loves herself. I mean, I am the bomb.com. Like, seriously, crazy. Okay, I do not go to Julie's stuff most of the time. Yeah, there was no explanation at all. It's also like Jeff is doing a good job of like introducing people and saying who they are when they're brand new on the show, but also there's no, like with Susan, like I thought, oh, this is probably the beginning of Susan doing a bunch of podcasts, or Susan Powder doing the Today Show, or what, a lot of other shows. But it seems like she did Jeff Lewis Live and then went home, because I follow her on Instagram now, and she's back in Las Vegas, it appears, from the videos that she's making. Mariah Joy says, if their Dubai show was canceled, why are they even relevant? I'm so confused. There was no explanation about that at all, as why they were on the show. Are they promoting something? Is like, yeah, why they were on the show. They just, one of them joked about a spinoff that Jeff was going to have. And I'm like, Jeff isn't producing shows. Like, I don't know who you think he is, but I don't think he's like got a production deal. You know what I mean? Wait, what? Recently? Krista says, Gigi from Shahs of Sunset slapped Paulina around. She's filing charges and getting, what's TRO mean? I don't know what TRO means. Is this currently? Isn't Paulina like one of Mike's ex-girlfriends or ex-wife? That's the thing with Shaw's. I definitely want to chat about that, because I think Shaw's, I think the reboot that MJ denied a restraining order, like, I don't think I don't know if the audience is there for Shahs of Sunset anymore. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay. So Talene didn't tell Chanel about the dinner, but then she eventually came down to, then they were all at dinner. But knowing even that Shane said, we've got a reservation for 4, I still feel like temporary restraining order. It was on TMZ. I still feel like Shane should have texted, Chanel also, and let people know. You know what I mean? Their love of CVS and Walgreens and Costco was pretty funny, though, when they come back to the US. I still don't exactly understand, because they were just, I mean, mostly Chanel Ann, the bragging and the bragging and just, I don't know. I still don't understand, like, how she met her husband, why they're in Idaho. Like, I didn't even understand where they met. I just know she was 18 years old, and she basically admitted, look, I wanted to come to America, so I needed an American guy, and I wanted somebody that had money, and then I eventually fell in love with him. Well, God bless you for admitting that, because, I'm good with y'all admitting that. Jane said, I'd like Jeff to host all of the Housewives reunions. Well, first of all, he doesn't watch all the shows, so that would not be a good thing, because he doesn't know all the history there. I also don't think Jeff Lewis is tied into the social media part as much as Andy Cohen, with knowing, and it helps that Andy Cohen obviously does Watch What Happens Live. I feel like Andy Cohen knows a lot more about the on-screen and off-screen drama of the Housewives. So I think he brings that information. You know what I mean? Also, he's interested and curious. I don't feel like Jeff is as curious about the Housewives. I feel like he watches the shows he watches, and I don't feel like he'd be a good host for that. I feel like Jeff is great for, obviously great for radio, obviously great for I think he's really good on, he's been on quite a few shows, but just like one episodes, and he's really good on those. So I feel like he would just do more of those. That would keep him busy and definitely keep his name out there, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's true. Okay, this is true. Linda says no one can replace Andy Cohen, and Jeff plays too many favorites. Jeff definitely has favorites, and I don't feel like he would ask the questions or the shadiness that he needs to for his friends. I'm thinking specifically Dolores, Dorinda, Margaret. He definitely has some of his favorites. You know what I mean? I think yes. Krista says Jeff is great on Watch What Happens Live with occasional snark. He's great as a guest. I just don't feel like he should take over that because I don't feel he's as into it as Andy Cohen is. You know what I mean? Anyways, I just thought Chanel was a little bit cocky or a lot cocky. Talene confused me because if you look at the picture, she's very thin. Okay, I know. John Hill, don't talk about people's weight bodies. Trust me, they want us to notice that they're thin. Okay, it's no accident that she's thin. But she made it very clear that she doesn't eat when she's not happy. So she's like, if I'm super thin and my house is super organized and clean, that means life is not good. So thought that was interesting. You know what I mean? I don't think so. I don't love Danny Pellegrino though. I mean, and I love Andy Cohen. Let's make no mistake about that. Lincoln the Golden says Danny Pellegrino could replace Andy, in my opinion. I don't disagree with that. Kay Kitty says, but Andy is losing his energy. He's so low key and doesn't call anyone out. Did you watch Potomac? Because he definitely called Stacey out. He definitely did. And he got energy when all that TJ and Stacey mess came out for sure. She does work out a lot, but if you look at season 1, it's a very different weight for sure. I think Jerry O'Connell. Jerry O'Connell. I think he could definitely take over. He is definitely a Bravo Housewives fan. Okay. I don't really know much about Dubai, even after watching 2 seasons of it, but the no shouting, the no bullying, the no stealing. I mean, all of that does sound very nice. Like the fact that they didn't understand why everything was locked up at CVS or Walgreens was, I thought that was interesting. You know what I mean? Danny is amazing, Miss Lupo says. I just don't watch him. I've only seen him, I guess, when he's on Watch What Happens Live. Okay, let's chat the second hour of Jeff Lewis Live with MJ and Reza. Again, this is about the 4th time they've been on together because they're not on together a lot. Every single time I think, okay, finally, they're going to announce the Shahs of Sunset reboot. Like they've even showed cameras. They've alluded to the cameras. We know. But no. Instead, they don't talk about that forever. Instead, Jeff brings up the Gage thing. So Gage was always the one that was posting the pictures of Monroe on social media years ago, since she was a toddler till she's 8 now, probably 5, 4.5, 5 at least. Well after they'd broken up, right? Well after they'd broken up. So it wasn't that. But something went off in Gage, and all of a sudden he's like, we need to protect her privacy. I'm going to stop posting her on my public Instagram, and I want you to stop posting her. So if you've ever had a kid in school, for us, when we register every year, there's a box that says something like, do we have permission to use your kid's picture or, for promotional, whatever. I think I've always said no to that because I'm like, my kids go to a public school. What would you use? But I guess I thought if you did that, they would at least notify you of it, or at least make sure, especially since it's a private school, lots of celebrities, probably most or all, say no to using their child. So knowing that every year Gage has filled out the form that says, no, you may not use my child's face, likeness, image on anything. And then Jeff says, I also check the box saying, no, you cannot use my child's image, likeness, face, nothing for promotional use of the school. A chump sent a picture to Jeff. It sounds like a school banner. So the way Jameson, described it was more like whenever you're going to a college campus or you're going to a small town, they've got little, lights along like Main Street. They have like these little banners that will hang. I'm just going to make up a school, University of Texas, UT, and it'll have a picture of a girl holding a book. And then the next light switch is like a UT banner that's a guy throwing a football. The next one's a banner of UT and it's a girl at a lacrosse game. I'm just making up different stuff. So this sounds like that's what it was in the valley, but it's Monroe's face, like just her face. There's no denying that it's her. And she is on this huge banner promoting, of all things, her private school's summer camp. I mean, like, even if the school made a mistake, which clearly they did, clearly they made a huge mistake in not following the desires that Gage and Jeff, both parents of Monroe, have checked the box that said, no, you may not use her likeness, whatever. I would think the school, if they were making banners with a kid's face in 2025, first of all, big mistake, like hire an actor, hire a paid actor for the school, and that's how you use promotional stuff. Instead, they use Monroe's picture, and that lets everyone know what school she goes to. Well, that has been a big issue with Jeff, of not talking about what school it is or letting people know, even though a lot of y'all have figured it out and, sent me messages or posted on other Facebook groups. For sure. So K Kitty says, but if you simply Google Monroe Lewis, all of her pictures come up. That's because once something is posted, it's going to be out there forever, right? If Jeff posts a picture on his 24-hour Instagram story, that picture is captured and that is sent to Reddit before you can even breathe, literally. I mean, and people send it to me. So for sure. For sure they know there's drama. How can the people at the school, of all people, like there are famous people, there are rich people that go to the school, I'm assuming, but then there's people that have known drama between the parents of issues about how to parent their one and only child. Christina says someone at the school listens and knew what was up. So you think they literally did this on purpose? I mean, that's huge. That's a big FU mistake then. And, maybe so to Gage than to, what if it comes out that whoever did the last paperwork, do they both get to fill out the same paperwork? Because that's kind of weird, right? The way I said it said that kind of mistake is going to cost them free tuition if Gage has anything to do with it. But just me as a nobody, if I have marked the box that says, no, you can't use my kid's image or likeness to promote anything, and then they go and make a freaking banner with the school's information, so then everyone knows this is where that child goes to school, because listeners do know what she looks like. I doubt it says Monroe Lewis underneath it, but they know the picture. Somebody knew enough. Nobody has sent it to me. Somebody knew it and recognized her enough to know that is Jeff Lewis's kid and sent her the picture. And I'm positive the same people or more people have already sent that to Gage also. Crazy. Oh, it's already up in the Facebook group, somebody said. That's crazy. So somebody probably lives near it and drove by. I don't even know if Jeff would sue the school because he loves the school so much. And he was laughing about it. Let's face it. He wasn't that upset about it. He just said that, he was kind of giddy over it. He was giddy over the fact that this is going to piss off Gage so much. And then the LOL of it all is Jameson bringing up the fact that she's promoting their summer school program. And that is indeed what 2 years ago, last summer, Gage was suing Jeff over her not going to the summer school activities. You know what I mean? Yeah, he definitely wasn't upset about it. He was giddy. Jen Helen says, Jeff's not upset about it. If anyone's going to have a fit, it's going to be Gage. And that's why he was upset about it. You know what I mean? Lincoln the Golden says, I'm not famous and I don't put my kids on social media. There are huge reasons why not to post your kids on social media. The school named listed with a picture of your kids after you told them not to. Yeah, and it's a private school with known celebrities and famous people. Like the fact that they even ask you to check the box, no, they should just know, look, hire actors. Like we've done print jobs before. They don't, if so, one of my kids, okay, I'm going to make up something. Okay, I'll just say if I go into a shoe store, okay, and I see a picture of a kid tying some shoes, that's not a kid that was shopping at the store and they just walked up and took a picture of her and asked him to sign a form. That is a paid actor or a model. So they literally agreed, yes, I am willing to have my picture taken for money for this shoe company. You know what I mean? Oh, Michael Riley thinks it's more devious than anything. Michael Riley says somebody doesn't like those two dads. I mean, this just didn't get made. Like somebody literally had to pick out a picture of a kid. Like I'm just wondering where it broke down. And at the end of the day, wouldn't the school have just told the parents, hey, just so you know, your kid's picture is going to be up in the valley, like up on this lamppost, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I would just think they would, if they thought they had filled out the paperwork, and maybe they did, maybe they checked the wrong box or they didn't update it this year. But if they did, I would think the school would still be like, hey, just so you know, you check the box and we are going to do a marketing thing and put her picture up on the whatever, just to let them know. You know what I mean? But yet no one told either one of them about it. Debbie says children don't belong on social media. I don't put my grandkids' pictures up without asking our daughter and son-in-law first. I just think it's an interesting thing, just specifically because of who they are, because they have a very, very public, years-long fights over co-parenting. And one of the huge issues is that, you know, Gage doesn't want her picture up on social media or anything, and that Jeff is okay with it. So that would be huge. Read Krista's post. Which one? Okay, I don't see it. I wonder if this was an attempt. Krista says, I wonder if this was an attempt to get Monroe out of their school. No, I can't know. Why would a school do that? Yeah, Mariah Joy says, why does it take a listener to tell Jeff to know that a picture of their daughter is on a banner? The school never notified them at all. Question mark. That sounds very odd. I agree. But I'm assuming in the case of when you have two fathers that are not together, everything that's communicated, I'm assuming goes to both of them. Whereas normally, let's face it, you have like a primary that's like the, you know, the one phone number, you know what I mean? Read Krista's post. Well, she's going to have to copy and paste it because I can't find it. And I just can't. Anyways, okay, let's move on and chat about MJ and Reza. So it takes a while, like 40 minutes into the second hour. Reza mentions, or Jeff mentions, a book that Reza is writing and that's coming out in November. Okay, is this what you wanted me to read, Michael Riley? That you were putting it in all caps? Krista says, dealing with a difficult parent, question mark. A school will absolutely want to remove a high drama child. Trust me. Is she high drama though? Like, why would she be high drama? Anyways. Oh, I don't know. SFT says, how is merch sales? I don't know. I haven't asked. That all goes through Stacy, so I haven't asked anything yet. Anyways, I don't think they are though, are they? Michael Riley says, because Monroe and her parents are pain in the asses, that's why. I mean, unless Jeff is just not telling something, you know what I mean? That's been around forever. Jet says someone created an account called All Things Monroe Lewis, fan account for her. Yeah, that's been around forever because I've seen it years ago. Yeah. Which I would think they'd want to get that removed, or I guess I would think Gage would want to get that removed. Okay. So nothing comes up. So I remembered that when MJ and Jeff were going through their drama, Reza was on, and he wasn't exactly complimentary of MJ. Okay. So finally at the end, a caller calls in. Thank you, caller. And basically says, hey, are we going to talk about this? Are we going to talk about what y'all haven't talked about? It's been most of the show, y'all haven't said anything. Because MJ in the beginning had said, look, there's something going on with me and Reza, but it's been going on for about a month. We need to talk in person. We haven't had a chance to. The fires, I'm a busy mom, he's busy in his career, all the things. And I wanted to chat in person. So that being said, someone finally asked, and she says, I thought I wrote down what she said. MJ. Oh, okay, about the No Shahs reboot. Did we already talk about that? That Jeff asked about the Shahs of Reset, the Shahs of Sunset reboot, and MJ said, no, there's no reboot. I'm like, wait, what? Anyways, okay. So Reza says, no, we can't do real estate together. I don't think we could work together, because basically that's one of Jeff's things is, if there was a Shahs of Sunset reboot, y'all should work together. Y'all need to really make sure in the contracts that your real estate, your careers are really shown, because that is how, $1 Million Listing LA and all them are really successful now. Like it doesn't matter that they don't have a show. All the promotion from the show has really, put their real estate into high gear. So, MJ pretty much lets everyone know that she had a problem with Reza not having her back. She very much mentions that Jamie Kennedy did have her back about the whole Jeff thing. And Reza's like, well, in other things. And then MJ completely changes the story. MJ's like, I'm going to get the threads in my neck, Jeff, and I'm going to get the whatever. I was just like, wait, what? Yep, on IG. I don't know what that means. Yes. Lincoln the Golden says, that is psychotic. Why would you make a fan account for a kid? A kid that the two dads don't agree on them doing that. You know what I mean? Interesting. So we'll see if MJ and Reza have a conversation after the show. They definitely need to, especially if they're doing Shahs of Sunset. Like Reza didn't even tell MJ about his book deal. MJ's like, oh, I think she knew it was in the works, but she didn't know anything was being announced today, and that the book is actually coming out and has a date and has a price, $98. I mean, Jeff knew how long the book was, and MJ's like, oh, I didn't even know, I know. I kind of wonder myself. Jet says, I think there's really not an audience for a Shahs reboot. It would need to be something else now that they're all grown. I just feel like it's been so long now, and none of those people are like super famous in their own right. I feel like MJ did do The Traitors. She and Reza are on Jeff Lewis Live, which definitely brings, a lot of fame to them. I don't know it's enough for a TV show when they're not really friends. They really don't work together. You know what I mean? I don't know. Mariah Joy says, I agree with your thoughts about there not being an audience for Shahs of Sunset. It's been more than a minute. Also, how would a young new cast in their 20s mix in with Reza, who's 51, and MJ, who's 52? Yeah. And I think they have talked about they are mixing in some other people. I feel like Gigi, I feel like Reza, I feel like a few people have kind of confirmed this whole Shahs of Sunset reboot, but whatever it is, MJ is like, I am not breaking the rules. I'm not going to, but at some point, go ahead and admit it, people. Bravo needs to come out with it if they are actually filming, because you need to get the interest up, the curiosity, right? Like at this point, if she's flat out refusing it like she did today, yeah. I don't know exactly how old MJ is. She definitely doesn't talk about her age, but she is definitely not as young as she implies. So if Reza and MJ have known each other since high school, if Reza is 51, like someone just said, then MJ is probably in the 52-year age range also. She does look great, don't get me wrong, but it's a matter of her just not admitting her age. She definitely doesn't like to admit that. One other thing is Jeff was very clear that a lot of people try to break up him and MJ's friendship and him and Kelly Dodd's friendship. And he's like, it's not going anywhere. He's like, it's going nowhere. Like, y'all can send me all the stuff you want. I'm still going to be friends with MJ. Y'all can send me all the things you want. I'm still going to be friends with Kelly Dodd. Interesting. I cannot get my thoughts around a former Chump Con. Like, I can't imagine they're actually going to go through with this. And I it's one thing to do your own thing and maybe your own fans would go because they all have fans. Don't get me wrong. Chef Stu's got fans. Heather McDonald has fans. Megan has fans. Brandy and Julie have fans. I mean, almost all of them have a podcast. Megan doesn't have a podcast, but they've all got fans. I mean, people would definitely come to something, but to have it on the same date and also Las Vegas, if that's what y'all are telling me, crazy. Yes. Southern Belle says, have y'all seen TJ saying that he has receipts, but he won't show them yet? Yeah, from Real Housewives of Potomac when he's leaving the airport. I'm like, just show them, dude. Quit dragging it out. You either have it or you don't. You know what I mean? Yeah, but they can make that stuff with they can make that with Canva. They can make anything real. There was something somewhat recently they made, and it was Brandy and Julie or Heather McDonald. It was something, and it said something, and it was fake. Krista said, you have to see the post. It looks so real, and Heather is center stage of the poster. I mean, if Julie posted it, then it's either a really big joke that's a bad joke, but if it has dates, times, location, ticket sales, a link, I have to assume it's real, right? That's crazy. I guess I'll go check it out in a second. Yes, but who posted it? I know Chris is like, I'm fully aware that they can fabric. I just haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. And also, it matters to me who posted it. Oh, Julie and Brandy have posted it. Okay, so we'll all go look right now. There were dates and times. Okay, then it's probably a real deal. Wouldn't that be crazy? Laura says, I didn't see a post on their Instagram. Who posted it and where? Well, that's the only places I know Brandy and Julie to post. I don't really think they're on TikTok a lot. I think Heather McDonald's on TikTok, but I don't think she posts on TikTok hardly at all. That's kind of a post that would go on Instagram, if you ask me, or in their Facebook group. Who's in there's a Brandy and Julie, all things Brandy and Julie Facebook group. Is that still a thing? And then there's, what is Heather McDonald's? What is Heather McDonald's Juicy Scoop Obsessed Facebook group? I wouldn't put it past them either. I mean, wow. Just talk about dragging something out, though, for sure. Anyways. Okay, well, that'll wrap things up. I will watch Beverly Hills tonight. We will chat about it tomorrow. And, of course, tomorrow's Jeff Lewis Live. If you are watching as a replay, thank you so much. Still make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to me everywhere at Sarah from Texas. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, Chumpettes. Bye, Instagram.